we are again, Robin the Sudoku Guy, with yet another tutorial. This is tutorial 94. And this particular one, I call it an interesting discovery. But it was sent to me by a Dean Kramersh. And I want to say to you, Dean, thank you for sending it to me. And this particular puzzle starts off fairly easy, but then it gets tougher. You think it may be easy to begin with, but in the long run, it's a hard one. Now, I'm not sure, Dean, whether you sent it to me because you couldn't do it, or you sent it to me because you wanted to see how somebody else does it. And let me assure you, my brother tried this. He went a different route than I went. So you can go different paths. It depends on what you know and what you see and when. So, Dean, let's give it a go, shall we? Here we go. I'm going to be doing cross blocks and horizontal blocks. Then I can do vertical blocks. And at the same time, if there's only one number in those 3 blocks, for example, I'll use the cross-neat system. Okay, now the first one, this one here is number 1. We've got 1, 1, 1. They're all there. 2, no 2s. 3s. We have 2 3s, the top, a middle. Here it has to be on the bottom, and I'll put a 3 there and a 3 there. 4s. We've got 2 4s. We have a 4 here, middle, top, bottom. 4 goes here, and a 4 goes there. 5s. There's only 1 5. Can't do much of that. There's nothing much we can cross with. There's no 5s down in here. 7s. There's no 7s. 8s. There's no 8s. 9s. There's only 1 9. Let's do a cross for the 9. In this block here, because I'm doing these 3 blocks. Take that 9, go across there. Take this 9 down here and go up there. Yeah, we've got this cell here that becomes a big 9. We've finally got started. How's that? Let's now go to these 3 blocks. 1s, no 1s. No 1 home. 2s. There's only 1 2, and there's nothing over here to cross it with, or here. Leave it. 3s. If I go across here with this 3 and take this 3 down, we've got a 3 that can go there and there. Well, that's handy to know. If we've got a 3 on the bottom and a 3 in the middle, we can have a 3 here. Now, when I look at that, because we've got this situation here, that's to me the blade of a cleaver. Got it. And if this is the blade of a cleaver, down in this block we can have the handle with a 3. We can put a 3 there and put a 3 here. Now if you want to know more about the cleaver pattern, have a look underneath this video and you'll see I've given you some other tutorials and lessons where you can check them out. So that's a cleaver pattern. There's your blade and there's the handle. Okay, 4. 4, we can do a 4. There's a 4 up and top, bottom. 4 can be there or there, but there's a 4 there, so we can make that into a 4. Goody, goody, goody. 5s. We got 2 5s. We got a 5 in the middle, 5 at the top, 5 at the bottom. This becomes a 5. 6s. No 6s. 7s. No 7s. 8s. Only 1 8, but if you look at this block here, an 8 cannot be there or there because it's the same row. It has to go there. Well, that was a good discovery. Okay. Now, because I put that 8 in, have a look at this. We have a right, a center, and a left. So this becomes an 8. That's good. Now we put the 4 in here and the 5. That was pretty good for the 8. Now, if we go across this way with the 8, this is an 8 on the top, 8 in the middle. We could have a little 8 here and a little 8 there. That's good. 9s. If I take this 9 and go across, there's a 9 up here. Okay, and so a 9 could be there or there. So we can put 2 little 9s in. We can put, if you can put the little numbers in 2 spots, in the cells, 2 cells only, go for it. Okay, we finished that row now. Let's go down to these sets of blocks. We have a 1 in the middle, 1 on the bottom. 1 has to go up on the top here. It can go there or there. Nope, there's a 1 up there. So we can put a 1 here instead. That's good. Now because we got that 1 there, we now have a left, we have a right, we can put a 1 in here. Now here's something I want to point out. As I'm doing this puzzle, if I see or spot a row, column or block where there's only 2 empty cells, we know that they are going to be a matching pair. So let's look at this. We've got this block here with 2 empty cells. What numbers are missing? 1, 2, 4, 5. It's a 6 and a 6 and a 7 are missing in here. Instead of writing 6, 7 in, let's look around. Oh, there's a 6 down in here, so that means that that'll have to be a 7, and that'll have to be a 6. Now, when my brother tried this, he thought, oh, this is easy. Look, we're making good progress here. Gets harder later on. Keep watching. Okay, fine. So now we did the 1s in here. Let's go to the 2s. There's no 2s at all. 3s. We can go across here with a 3, down here with a 3. It could be there, too many. 4s. We have 2 4s, a middle and a top. It could be there or there, but there's a 4 up there. So let's put the 4 here, and now let's see what the ramifications of that is. If this is the center, and this is the right, up in this block it has to be on the left, so this becomes the 4. A big 4, and we can get rid of that little 4 now. Okay, 5s. Any 5s in here? Let me see. I don't see any 5s at all. 6s. Top, we got 2 6s. Top, middle, has to be on the bottom. This becomes a 6. Good. 7s. There's only 1 7. But watch what I'm going to do now. If I take this 7 and go across in this block, across there, it cannot be there. If I take this 7 and bring it down, it cannot be there. The only place a 7 could go in this block is right there. Okay, now, if we've got a 7 here in the center, a 7 on the left, over here it has to be on the right, so that top one becomes a big 7. Now we've only got 1 left in this whole column. Wonder what that is. It's a 1, 2. It's a 2. It's a 2. So we'll put the 2 in there. And now we've got 1 left in here in the block. Well, let's fill it in. If that 2, by the way, before I go on any further, that's a right, a left. The 2 has to be in here somewhere. Could be in any of those 3. This one, well, it has to be a 5. It's the only one left. So we'll put the 5 in. Now we have a 5, 5. A 5 has to be in here, and 2 has to be in here. Keep that in your head. Okay. 7. 7. If this is a 7, and that's a 7, we know that a 7 has to be along the bottom in here. Keep that in your head. If you're a beginner, you may want to put a little 7 on the side here, if you wish. Okay? To help them remember. One of the great things about Sudoku is it's good for the memory as well. Okay, 8s. Well, we could have 8s. If I take this 8 here and go across here, and I take this 8 here and go down there, we can have a little 8 there, and we can have a little 8 there. Fantastic. 9s. Now this is interesting. We only have 1 9 along here, but here we can't have a 9 in the middle here, so it has to be there or there. If it's a middle, top, it has to be down in here again, so we'll put a little 9. Oh, there's a 9, look up in here, there could be an, oops, let's look at this. We could have a 9 here, because of that 9 up there, we could have a 9 here, and we could have a 9 there. Oh, that was good, that was handy. Pushing right along. We got a new 5. The 2, these new 2 here, 2 could be in here, so the 2 has to be down in here somewhere. The 5 this way. There's a 5 this way, and there's a 5 this way. Guess what? We have a matching 5-8 pair here. Matching 5-8 pair. Isn't that fantastic? Now let's do the vertical blocks. Oh no, did I get to 9? Oh yes, I did. Ones. 1, 1, left, center. A 1 could be here, or it could be there. 2s. Wow, don't see any 2s in there. 3s. If I take this 3 down in here, and I take this 3 across here, the 3 can only go there. That's because you can't have any other little numbers in a matching pair. Now what does that do? Let's have a look at this. I'm going to get rid of this little 3. And therefore, because the 3 was in 2 places here, the handle of the cleaver, this has to become a 3. Okay? So this becomes a 3. Now, because that was a 3, 9, we can make that into a 9. That's it. Okay. And that is no longer a 9. So that 9 can go. Well, boy, that was a lot of good discoveries. Pushing right along here, we were up to 5, 5, 5, 6, 6. Well, we can go all over the place here, but I can say in this block we could have, with that and that block, we can have a 6 here, and we can have a 6 there. Okay, 7s. There's no 7s. 8s. Look at this. We know that here we have an 8. One of those will be an 8. So if it's a center, right, this becomes an 8. And if this becomes an 8, we know that 8 has to be in here somewhere. Keep that in your head. Wow, boy, oh boy. 8. Okay, 9s. Coming down in here, we've done them already. Okay. Let's go these 3 blocks. We have a 1 here, and a 1 up there, and a 1 over there. So one of these has to be a 1. 2s. No 2s anywhere. 3s. Ooh, could be several spots in here. 4s. 4s are done. 5s. 5. 5. Could be there and there. Too many. Okay, 6s. Well, we could have a 6. We could miss this before, but this could be a 6, and that could be a 6. Okay. 7s. We could have a 7 going up here, a 7 across there. We could have a 7 there, there, and there. No, too many. We just want it to go in 2 cells. 8s. We have an 8. We know there's going to be an 8 in here somewhere, but there's no 8s down in here to really help us. 9s. 9. Well, we could have it. We could have a 9. All over the place. No luck. Now over here we've got only one 3 by 3. 3 by 3 or a triplet. Now this puzzle has a lots of triplets or 3 by 3s. Let's see what the numbers are. The numbers, well, we have a 2, what didn't we? We have a 2. A 2 could be there, there, and there. If it's a triplet, we can put them all in now. 2, what is it? A 7, 7. No, that goes there. What was the other one then? 9, 9, 9. That was the other one. 6, 6. A 6 can go in there, and it can go there or there. Possible matching pair there. And the other one was a 5, I think. Left, right, center. So this is a 2, 5, 6. This is a 2, 6 because of this 5. And this is a 2, 5 because of that 6 here. Now, did that give us any new numbers? No, it didn't, and that often happens with triplets, but let me tell you a little secret. When you have a triplet or a 3 by 3, quite often, but not always, if you get one of those numbers, you've got the others. So, what do we do now? We look for 3 cells that are left, either in a row, column, or block. Now, there's quite a few of them. There's one there, there's one here, there's one here. Let's try this one in here. We've got 1, 2, 3. What numbers are in here? It's the number 2, 7 and 9. 2, 7 and 9. Okay, if I put 2, 7 and 9 here. Oh, we've got a 2, 9 in here. So that means that this has to be a 7. So I can take this 7 off and we got a 2, 9. And that means that down here we have a 2, 9. We have a matching 2, 9 pair. Well, that's handy to know. Good. So that 7 means we got a bottom, we got a top. We can have a 7 in here and a 7 in there. Neat. Okay. Now let's see. Is there any other? You know, did you notice something? You probably have been yelling at me. You missed that. You missed that. That 3 means that this 3 goes, and this, because it only went in 2 spots, this becomes a 3. Oh, let me see now. Let's see if that works. Right, center, left. Whew. Okay. Now, looking around, and then for another triplet, there's quite a few of them. The trouble is, which one should we try first? I'm going to try this row now. This one here. We've got a 1, 6, and an 8. 1, 6. There's an 8 already there. Here we have a 1. Gosh, did you see this? Here is a 1. Here is a 6. If it's a 1, 6, 8, this only is like this 7. This has to be a big 8. 1, 6, 8. So this means that this becomes a big 8. And this 8 goes now. Now what does this mean? Does it mean anything? Let me see. 8, 8, 8. Well, we got an 8 here, an 8 here. We know that this goes up there, going across there. We can put 2 8s in here. Okay? 8. Well, that was a neat discovery. Going on an adventure, aren't we? Now, where do we go next? Let's have a look at this here. Did you notice that now we have a matching pair here? 5, 8. This has to be a 5, 8. So let's put that in. A 5, 8. Now here we have 3 cells. We have a 2, 5, 2, 5, 8. 2, 5, 8. And this is a 2, 5, 8. Oh, well now, let's have a look at this. I have just noticed, you may have noticed this, but it's something that's extremely important to catch. Let me show you. I'm going to draw this with this red pen around a unique rectangle. Sometimes we call it a danger. I'll explain why. Here we go. I'm just going to draw around this, down here, and along here, just so that you know what I'm talking about. That makes up what is called a unique rectangle. And what the danger is of a unique rectangle is this. It's possible, if you're not careful, to have 2 solutions to the puzzle. And that's a no-no in the world of Sudoku. And how do we avoid that? Well, first of all, let me show you what I mean by 2 solutions. If this was an 8, that would become a 5. If that was a 5, this would become an 8. If that was an 8, that would become a 5. Now, if this was a 5, this would become an 8, that would become a 5, and that would become an 8. We've got two solutions. And the way to get rid of that problem is this. Watch. This 2 here must be a 2 to stop that 2 answers happening. So we're going to make that a 2. Now if you want to know a bit more about the danger or unique puzzles, have a look below this video, and I've given you other places where I talk about it. So this becomes a big 2. What did I do there? That was a 5-8, wasn't it? 5. I'm too busy talking. 5, 8. And this one becomes the big 2. Now, let's make it a big 2. Oh dear, my pen is running out. Can you see that all right? Okay. Now, let's push on. Does that help us at all? Well, we know that there's a 2 going to be down in here. We don't know where yet. Let's have a look for it. We have a 1-6 matching pair now. That's good. Okay. Now, let's see. Where else is there a 3x3 that we could use? Here's one on the top row here. It's a 2-6 here. And here we have a 2-5-6. Well, look at this. We have a 2-5-6. There's a 2 here that we just got. So that can't be 6 or a 5 or a 2. So this has to be a 5. Fantastic. Now what does that do? The ramifications, we can get rid of this 5 here. We can get, now, because of that, this becomes a big 5. Okay. And 5, 5, that makes sense. Now we did the 5s this way. What about going down? Is this going to help us at all? Let's have a look. Yes, it does. See down here? This 5 goes. And we finish up with an 8. So we're going to make this a big 8. If now we have a big 8, let's do this cell. Oh, look at this. This is very interesting. We're going to be going stepwise, all kinds of things. It's amazing how sometimes you get one number and you get a lot of other numbers as a result. This 8, center, left, this here becomes an 8. So we can rub this little 8 out and we can make this a big 8. Okay. Now talking about the 8s, so just notice 8, 8, 8, that when we put this 8 in, we have a matching pair in here. Did you see that? Here is a matching pair. What numbers are they? There's a 2 and a 7. Okay, 2, 7, 2, 7, and a 2, 7. Okay. Now this is really interesting because we now have this cell here which should be a 9 because now we cannot have a 9. See this 9 here? If I going up this way and go this way, this cannot be a 9. This cannot be a 9. This cannot be a 9 because there's a 9 there. So this has to be a 9. Well, that'll be handy to know. Okay. Now look at all the numbers we got just because we got that 8 here. Fantastic. Now that 8 has this effect. This here becomes a big 5 as that 8 goes. It continues on with getting a really interesting situation. That 8 means that this 8 goes and this becomes a big 5. Okay. And that 5 means that 5 goes and this becomes an 8. Look at all the ramifications we got just because of what we discovered up in here. Okay, or here. Okay, that was an 8, right? And we've done the whole row there. Goody, goody, goody. Okay, now let's check. 8, 8, 8. That's good. Let's have a look at these 3 cells here. What is missing there? Missing is a 2, 3, and a 7. Am I right? 2, 3, and a 7. 2, 3, and 7. Let's put them in. No, can't. Because you can't. I bet that's a 2, 7, because there's a 3 down there. And here we have a 2, 3, 7. Oh, there's a 7 there. So here we have a 2, 3 again. 2, 3. Matching pair. Well, I never. That's interesting. Now, was there anything else that should go there? I wonder. 9. That could be a 9. And that could be a 9. So it's not really a matching pair yet. Okay, let's pushing on. If this is a 3, 2, 7, 2, 3. This is a, can't be a 2, 3. It's a 3, 7. And here we have a 2, 3, 7. No, there's a 7 there. 2, 3. Oh boy, oh boy. There's something here that's just going to be interesting. I'm just going to try and work this one out. I see. This 2 means that this becomes a 3. Well, that's a really good discovery. That 2 goes and this becomes a big 3. Now let's look at the results of that. If that's a big 3, this 3 goes, that 3 goes, and this becomes a big 7. That becomes a big 7. And now, because that's a big 7, this 7 goes, and this becomes a big 7. Okay, if that's a big 7, this becomes a 2. Oh, look at this go, boom, 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 boom. This becomes a 2. This now becomes a 6, because that 2 goes. Boomity boom, 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 one after the other, just because I didn't see that till quite later. I had to study it. Okay, this becomes a 2 now. And this becomes a 6. And this becomes, that 6 goes. This becomes, this 2 means that that 2 goes, and this becomes a 7. Oh, fancy discovering that little thing there. That all these numbers have come as a result. If that's a 7, then we can't have a 7 down in here. 7, 7, this becomes a 7. Oh, we're finally getting this triplet worked out. Okay. Sorry, the pen is getting a little bit worn out. I may have to go to another blue. Okay, so that becomes a 7. So we're left with a 2, 9 in here. There's a 9 up there. So that means that this has to become a 2. And this has to become a 9. Well, we're making progress now just because of that discovery with this 2 making that into a 7. Now, this 2 here, going back to that one, so many ramifications just because of that discovery. It took me a while to check it, but this has got to be a 3 because we have a 3, 3, and a 3. Okay, now this 7 means that this becomes a 2. Sorry about the pen, I don't have another one that is the same colour, in fact, same blue. Okay, so now where we're going here. This 6 means that this 6 goes. Ooh, look at this. That 6 goes, and this becomes a big 1, which means that that big 1 goes, and that becomes a big 9. I'll come back to that. There's so many ramifications happening now. That means that this 9 goes. Now, that 1 makes this 1 here go, and that becomes a 6. That 6 means that that 6 goes, and this becomes a 1, a big 1. Okay, that's a 1. So we have a bottom, middle, and a top. Poof, that worked. Now we had this. We've got a 2, 9 in here. Look at this. I'll put it in just so you can see what I'm going to do. There's a 2, 9 there. There's a 9 right here. So that means that that becomes a 2, and this becomes a 9. Okay? So we'll make this a 2. And make that a 9. Now let's see if this all works. If this is a 2 and that's a 2, this becomes a 2. We'll find out if this is all correct in a minute. If things go wrong, we know we made a mistake. Okay, this 9, that 9, that 9. Now we've only got 1 left in that block, and it's a, oh, here's a 6 and a 6. So right, left, it has to be a center, 6. And by George, sorry about the light blue pen, but I think we solved it. Hope, Dean, that you've learned something from this, and I hope everybody else learned something from it. So that's it for today. Bye for now.